How to Draw Cartoons with John-Marc. Hey, do you have a pencil and some paper? Let's begin today's lesson.
Alright, now this lesson is going to be really fun. I'm using your imagination. So what am I going to be working on right now is a little stump, and I'm going to create like a house out of it. And I'm just working off my imagination. I didn't do any thumbnails from some of my previous lessons and so forth. So here's a stump, some of the roots hanging out there I'm seeing, or maybe a rock here, and a little doorway here. When using your imagination, I'm just going as quick as I can right now and just building the elements. And the little door, you know, the handle there, a little stone here. I'm not worried about the lines right now because this is like step one, my step 1, 2, 3 series that I have. And it's just getting your thoughts out and your feel, the whole composition of the illustration right now, or cartoon, should I say. And working on this, when I'm still sketching, my mind is teaching me things that I can go a little faster or a little slower and changing things at the same time. Yeah, there's a little window, and let's say now if there was like a little lamp or light on the side here, what else would you see using your imagination? So when you're watching these lessons, I'm a little under the gun always with the time. I don't want to take like an hour or two and put everything together. But if I went a lot slower, of course, the stuff would look amazingly better. But this is just a thumbnail sketch, just getting it out. And what I'll do from this, I'll take it, scan it in, and I'll clean it up on the computer and even add some colors or print it out or redraw it again on a bristle and do watercolors or color pencils on top of this little stump. Let's create some little mushrooms on the top there and a little one twisting backwards a little bit there. There you go. All right, let's see. What else can we do? What else? A little showing the type of tree it is, and there's some more roots. You know, let's get the background there a little bit in there. Okay, you know what? I want to put like it's a close up, so it's like a lot of big trees. I'm going to crop that all out. And it's just a little composition that would be like the back. Okay, and the skinnier ones here. Note. So you're not going to see, I don't think I would see the leaves of the tree, so it'd be really cut out intentionally, cropped out in little shrubs back there, some in the front, some big ones over here. As you can see how I'm just going really quick, that's just to give me a representation of the feel. And from there, I can go a little bit tighter. You know what? Let's put a little mailbox for this little character here, whatever it is. Is it a mouse? Is it a chipmunk? What lives in this little stump? And maybe you can always have the name of the character on there. Could be a rabbit, could be a little raccoon as well. All right, what's more over here? Well, you know what, it'd be fun if I made like maybe a little flower pot here, maybe something like that, some little flowers growing on the top there. I've done that in some of my other tree fort ones. Little stones here, here. All right. Okay, what else can we do? You know what? Okay, now comes to my step number 2, where I'm going to go a little slower, a little bit, and a little bit heavier on my lines, as you can see. I'm not going to erase again because this is just a thumbnail, so I can still feel that nice sketchiness to it. The base of the little roots coming out there, you know, the angles of the trunk there, a little grass here and there. What do you see that I might not be doing? So when you're watching this, you might be drawing along later on, or rewind it and watch it again and see what you could add. So when you finish watching this, what do you do? I would love to hear some of your comments and what you changed, or even showing me some of those drawings that you did. So feel free to drop me an email, and I would love to see some of those pictures. So here's a little lamp, and inside there might be like a old-fashioned metal tin with a candle in the inside there. Yeah, that's looking good. I like that feel. But again, the perspective and the angles are off. I know that, and I'm not worried about that right now. Again, this is just to get the idea down and the flow for my conceptual idea. So if this was just for a greeting card, or if this was for some type of a mug, or something funny to hand off to somebody, or background art for an animation, or even for a kid's storybook, or even a coloring page for that matter. And a little mailbox here, the rim, okay. Do, 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 do. You can have like their name over here maybe on there, or the number could be there. The little flag on the side. There we go. And I remember growing up having a big mailbox. We had a very large one at the end of our driveway. It was like super size. We could take a box and it was so big. A little shading there. Let's get a little bit more of that, the heavier shading underneath there. And where's the lighting coming from? So in my head, I always, me personally, it's always coming from the top right, angling down. All right, so let's get the doorknob here a little bit more. There we go, a little shading there. If it would, is it a piece of wood or is it like brass? I don't know. But when you're coloring it, that's when you can do it. As you can see, the door is intentionally that shape of the door, kind of not perfect with the cutout, and that's also like the stump. And intentionally, that kind of gives it that little flare. So if that would be a little shadier on that side here, all more on this side here. I can kind of see it playing in my head when coloring it right now. This would be a fun one to really clean up and color on the computer. Yeah, this would be like really shady because it's facing back. Maybe the leaves are covering it over, so it'd be darker. On that one, little grass or stones there. This big stone here. And what type of stone is that? Like a slate blue, or is it like a burnt sienna or gray? You know, depending on the area that you have. The dirt. Okay, another one here. Yeah, you can change the color of the stones too. So when I'm drawing, I'm also figuring on the colors, and that maybe is it fall time, is it summertime, and that can still change. You could create this picture and create it for daytime and nighttime. That would be a real fun lesson to do on the computer. A little bit easier than doing traditionally, be a little bit quicker. So I would color everything in, like if it's like 10 o'clock in the day, how the sun would affect the shadowing, the lighting, and a little pathway here. Now this would be like really shady right here, really dark, and that middle by the door would be really light, just right that area there. Yeah, intentional. So in my head, I'm kind of feeling like it would be like the filtering light of shadowing, like there's a shadow underneath for the mailbox, some grass. So what I was saying with the coloring this in traditionally is nice, but when you're doing it on the computer, you can then come back and change the feel. So I would too have it like blue. So maybe the inside of this window here, it would be like a glowing warm orange in here glowing out, and it could be like spotlighting on the rocks and the grass a little bit if it's late at night, and you can have smoke coming out of that little stack on the top that I have. Yeah, a little shadow more over here. That's better. I like that. Yeah, it'll just show some wood grain on there. There we go. A little darker. Yeah. Again, this is very quick, and in my head, I kind of playing up there like the mushrooms. They might have like red and like white spots on them, patterns on there, underneath there. Yeah, another trying to just get that curvature. Oh, shadow underneath there too. The underneath there we go. That's better. So this would be all underneath. As you can see, yep. A little tall, skinny one. There we go. Yeah, it's feeling good. I like it. In my head, this would be real one. I'm really excited. So I would say give me another 2 weeks or so, and this one I'll be really colored in. I'll give you the comp color in too. So it was like what it would be for the fall time, daytime, nighttime. So here's a little smokestack. Okay, so like all the little, like a fireplace inside we cook, so all the smoke coming out from out underneath here. That's all the smoke right here. Yeah, there we go. A little cloudy stuff. Doot, doot, coming out there. All right, little edge there. You know, let me get that bracket on there that would hold this little candlelight on the outside. Okay, there. What else? What else? A little grass here and there. Grass here and there. Some more stones. Stones. Yeah, little flowers here and there. My old flowers. I've been doing that since the mid 1980s. These these typical flowers on a lot of my old pictures and cards. Yeah. All right. So, yep. You know what? Let's get some of the bushes and the shrubs in the back. So, in this case, to have the wood standing out in my mind, I would see they would be very dark, and instead of light, so the contrast would be strong because this is like underneath a forest, so it'd be really, really dark. All that could be like blueberry trees on their shrubs that have fruit or flowers on them too. All right, and over here, the same thing with the tree here. All the trees would be almost like a blue-gray, maybe. I'm thinking in my head. Let's get the shrub in front of this tree there. This one's behind there too. Okay, so it's kind of overlapping. You have the tree in the front, and then you have the shrubs in front of the tree. And another tree right there. Let's just shade that one in there. Get really heavier on that one. You can start dark and then fading to light too. It could be birch trees. That'd be kind of fun to do here. These skinny ones could be birch. You might have like a little character of an owl in the eyes in one of those tree trims there. All right. Yep, a little dark on this one here. You know, I feel good what I have. This is just a thumbnail sketch, feeling good, tight. Really quick, more rocks over here. Layout here. All right, so, oh, you know what? Let's add a few more darker ones here. A little different angle, so they're giving more space. They could be blurred. These could be blurred out to give that distance and that depth. And in the very distance, there's like another hill all the way in the background. And that could be a nice tone on that one too, and the clouds in the background. I feel good. Yep. So let's sign date. Share with your family and friends. As always, thanks for watching this lesson and have a great day.
Hey everybody, it's John-Marc. I'm excited to be here right now sharing with you my latest drawing book, book number 4. I have 3 other ones very similar to this one. It's similar, but what makes it different? The beginning, I added some techniques and tips in here that I don't have on the first 3. And I'm making a 5th book on just buildings and structures and backgrounds, a little bit more challenging like this one here. But overall, the book is very similar to my first 3 like this. I have step-by-step here and a blank on the other side. Feel free to use your imagination and your style on this. So you see something here you can't draw it, that's fine. Challenge yourself the best that you can, or even do it into your own style. What else do we have in here? Oh, I got a little octopus in here as well, a little fun one. I have houses in here, robots, seaweed, one of my biggest ones on my video series that I have. People like, what else? Oh, here we go. Here's the house. So overall, you can see some are easy, some are a little bit more challenging, but the bottom line, the more you practice sketching, the better you'll become as an artist. That's right. So book 4 on my website, that's jmg-studio.biz. That's a good one.